Good morning. It's 7:08 on Monday, the 28th of August. Beautiful cloudless sky. 45 degrees. Yeah, Flynn tried waking me up 3 times, but he got a late start. It was ideal sleeping weather. 45 degrees. Where the windows open in the bedroom, so the house is very well insulated, so it keeps the heat in. We didn't have the heat on, but the heat from yesterday's sun. The house was a model for Camelot Homes of Maine, so it's got extra insulation. You know, one of the showcase homes. I can't remember the R factor, but she's well insulated. Well, nothing on the side of the game camera. Boy, nothing on the side of the game cameras, and the Northwest one is still not working. I wanted to get down to it yesterday and reboot it, but I didn't. We ended up taking a ride down to, I don't know what he's looking at. There's a vehicle up there somewhere. Come on, bud. Ended up taking a ride down to Grand Lake Stream. Nice sized lake. Well, it's bigger than a nice sized lake. And it's 10 miles west of Route 1 in Indian Township. No, it's not in Indian Township. It's like most, if not all, lakes, ponds in Maine. There's a public boat access, and you can bring a boat down there and launch it. Take a ride out in a very big lake. I have to go back and see if I can get stats on the lake. But there are locks there where they can control the height of the water. Locks for you to jump off of, and they were, I guess 30 or 36 inches above the water, and the supports of the dock were visible. They are on wheels, so you can wheel them out in the winter. So if you don't want to leave your dock in the water up here in the winter, so it rips apart. It was a nice ride. And we live in Carroll, and to get down the road is 3.3 miles from here down to Route 6. And we were down about 1.25 miles, and there's a very big hill. So going up the hill, I get 7 miles a gallon. But once you get out of the hills of Carroll, the truck's miles per gallon gets pretty good. And drove all the way down to Grand Lake Stream, and the truck averaged 28.5 miles per gallon. There's something about going down Route 1. It must be all downhill from here to Grand Lake Stream, and then to even down to Calais. Because we go down to Calais, the truck ends up getting 31 miles a gallon average. And Calais is right at sea level, so I don't know how many feet we are above sea level here, but I'll have to look that up. Oh, but the interesting thing about Grand Lake Stream, the locks, they actually have a ramp up and down, so you can drive your ATV or side-by-side across from one side to the other over the locks. Not a huge parking area if you're going to be going down there trying to launch your boat. I mean, in prime summer, you might not be able to get a parking space for your boat trailer. But while we were there yesterday, there were, I think there were 2 boat trailers already parked without a boat on them. And another one just pulled in with their pontoon boat on it. So one of the ones that was already parked, the pontoon boat was right at the boat ramp, and then the second pontoon boat launched. So we got to see that. And unfortunately, as we got out of the truck, somebody pulled in with a side-by-side. They had a little hound, not on a leash, so he came over and was running around getting Flynn all excited. And he's twisting his leash all around my legs, my hands pulling while the hound was running back and forth, so wasn't too happy about that. And the woman from the side-by-side is just yelling for her dog, not doing anything really to get control of it for a good minute or so. She probably came over and grabbed its harness, not with a leash, just grabbed it with her hand. Come on, bud, let's go. Then we were over to the beach area. Flynn's afraid of the water. I don't know why. I try to get him to take a step into the water. And we're over there, and 2 dogs that are not on leashes, a yellow lab and a Springer Spaniel, come running up. The yellow lab is growling. I thought we were going to have a competition, but it worked out. And walked around a little bit more. There's a nice walking trail where you can actually get downstream to the locks. There's some chairs to sit on, and you can do fly fishing there. The water's running really, really good. They warn you that the current is really strong, so you have to be careful. Quaint little town. Grand Lake Stream. There's a little store there called the Pine Tree Store. They have, you can sit down for lunch. Not sure if they do breakfast, but they cook up lunch. We've had lunch there. They have souvenirs. They also have a gas pump. So you're 10 miles in off Route 1, and then don't know how many miles from anywhere else. So it's the only place to get gas for a good distance. So everybody shows up there. And because it's out of the way of everything, the gas price is higher than usual. Oh, but they had started out overcast yesterday, but it did clear up. It was a beautiful day. Had to come off my head. Brother Tom swung by yesterday evening. I asked him if he had some coax for cable TV, not cable TV, but satellite TV. I guess same stuff. But Rita wants to rearrange the living room, move the TV to the opposite wall. So I have to run some cable, make a hole through the floor down to the basement where the cables come up from. So he came over with a spool or a roll, whatever. A couple hundred feet of coax cable. But it's RG59. And I've got connectors for RG6. So the RG6 centers are thicker than RG59. So the center of my connector would have the RG59 flopping around in there. Yeah, don't ask me the difference between RG6 and RG59 as far as signal strength and resistance to noise. I don't know. But Tom says he found some connectors back at his place. We'll try and run them over here today. I was looking for a spot. I wasn't too happy with him yesterday down at Grand Lake Stream because he surprised me on the walking trail. He was very off cycle. He had taken care of business in the morning, but 2 o'clock in the afternoon he decides he's going to leave a present on the trail. So fortunately we had a baggie. She had some candies and stuff. She emptied the baggie, gave me the empty bag so I could police the grounds. And of course there was no garbage cans. I did find an outhouse. Deposited it in the toilet. Too much information there, huh? Sorry about that. and is just adding fertilizer to the landscape. But if you're down at a walking trail, you don't want to do that. And I do have doggy bags in the truck, but I didn't expect Flynn to be early in the day. It's usually right in the morning and then at the end of the day. Oh. Oh boy. Well, I see this rock has moved, so let's get him off the road. I'd put it back in the hole, but there's somebody running over it, launch it out again, so don't need anybody getting a tire cut or worse, a motorcycle hitting it and going down. Flynn, come on. Flynn. Going down to Grand Lake Stream, we've got through a place called Topsfield. And Topsfield is East Musquash. Musquasch. I think that's how you spell it. Lake, nice sized lake. Right on Route 6. And they've done some logging there. And the property that they harvested wood on has for sale signs. There's waterfront. And the sign was Realty of Maine. So when we got back to the house, I looked online at Realty of Maine's website, and they have absolutely nothing listed for Topsfield, Maine. In fact, you search by city. I tried putting in Topsfield, and they kept changing it to Topsham. Topsham. T-O-P-S-A-M. T-O-P-S-H-A-M. Topsham. And it's a movable map, so I zoomed out, scrolled all the way up because Topsham is way down the coast. Found Topsfield, but there were no listings. So I filled out the contact us form with my email and phone number. The name of the Realty of Maine sign was Sheldon Anderson. So at 11:54 last evening, 6 minutes to midnight, he sent me a text saying, call him. I guess he got back from wherever it was and was reading his emails, contact us forms, whatever. I put the Canadian tuxedo on this morning because it was 45 degrees out, but it's warming up real quick. So it's actually too hot with a denim jacket on. Oh boy. I have to check my calendar, but I think Antonio and Courtney have a firewood delivery tomorrow. I have to let the delivery truck through the gate. I open the gate and let them in. They close the gate. So I'm going to check my messages from Courtney. Make sure tomorrow's the right date. Make sure I'm around. Get out of there. Get. August 28th, and we haven't been out on an ATV ride yet. The trail that we used to take off of Tar Ridge. Somebody bought the property and fenced it off. So the only other ways is go straight out Tar Ridge to Tucker Ridge. You can get to the trails from there. Or you can run down North Road here. You don't want to try and go through the Snowmobile 105 trail because it gets swampy in there. And real swampy. In the winter, everything freezes up, so it's not an issue. But right now, you're trying to go through there, you're going to make sure you have a winch. And people with you to winch you out. We came through there 4 years ago. We come back from a nice ride, and Charlie decided to show us that route, and it was tough. A couple of them almost got stuck, but we made it out. Plus the bridges were the lead up to and lead off of the bridges was a challenge because the bridge was higher than the ground. Getting off isn't too bad. You just get a running start and come off it. But getting up on there, if you have two-wheel drive, you're probably not going to do it. Anyway. It'd be nice to get out for a ride in the ATVs before it gets too cold. Now the other way you can go is Skillinger Road up towards Danforth. We went up there a couple years back. Got up to the wood mill in Danforth for lunch, and we took the Snowmobile Trail, which is a mistake because you go through private landowners' fields. There's two ways to go, and we went north at a fork. Should have gone south, which probably would have added 5 or 6 miles each way, but it would have been on a real trail, ATV trail, not the other one was a Snowmobile trail. Alright, buddy, let's go in the house. Gonna wrap this up. Well, thanks for watching. Check back tomorrow. Like and share if you like it.